Okay, so can you see my Android Studio screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. This one is Android Studio. So let's create so make sure Flutter project. So what I'm doing in this one, I'm creating a simple app like a calculator app. But my main objective is that through that app, I want to show you the object-oriented style. So today will be our first introduction to the classes, and the two type of classes are two type of widgets, static and stateless and stateful widgets. Okay, so let's call this app, let's suppose calculator app. This is just an example. Let's create the project. I will create the UI of the app using the simple way. The simple way means that the without object oriented style, the normal simple style that we were using, that will be easy to understand that how to switch simple style to object oriented style. Okay, so let me start my emulator also. And as usual, I will delete all this code, and let's start a new simple project first. And then from simple and easier, we will slowly change, or we will improve from easier to a bit complex like this. So run app, and inside this run app we call material app, and in a material app we have mm, a property of home, and inside this home we call this scaffold widget to provide us the skeleton of the app. And inside this scaffold, we have three main categories, three main section of each app: the app bar, the body, and the bottom navigation bar. So as usual, let's start from app bar, and here I will start from a title. Okay, so the title will be a text. Let's suppose my calculator. Okay, uh, and the background color should be colors dot blue. Blue should be okay, right? Blue, and foreground color should be, meaning to say the text color should be color dot white. Uh, let's keep updating. Updating means let's run the app to see the output. Yeah, so in the meanwhile, it will be running, and I will keep updating the coding. Here, this is the app bar, and now after the app bar, in the body, we will design a simple app, like example, one text field and another text field. In the two text field, we can enter two values, and there will be the option of plus, minus, multiplication, and division, and a calculate button, like this one. Let me draw for you. Like for example, we have one input text field and another input text field. Okay, this one we can enter some value like this. Okay, and here will be a series of option: plus, minus, multiplication, and division. Okay, so if you enter the values and you select the operator, then there will be a calculate button. Okay, and we will calculate the values. Okay, so this is the idea of this app. So let's go ahead and update. Yeah, so you see, at this moment, we have only the My Calculator app. And if you want the app bar to center, do you remember the property? Anyone? Center title equal to true. So this is the property. So after that, if I rebuild you see this is hard reload, this is hard restart. Okay, this here hard reload and hard restart, these buttons. Okay, so this one can quickly rebuild the app. So if I select hard reload, so let me okay, still at restart, so it will show the calculator in the center. If you want to make the my calculator text bold, I think you already know how to make it bold. I will leave that one for you. So let's go to the next one. So then body. Okay, so here in the body we will have the that the text field, yeah, one text field, another text field. Okay, and the other button, the calculate button, and the four operator. So you see all these are like arranged in a column. So we will use a column widget to arrange all these things. Body, I will start a column widget, column. Okay, and inside the column widget is a children property. Okay, so inside the so all the widgets that you want to put in the column will be inside this children tree. So the first one, I want to have a text field. Okay, so text field, and this text field has many properties. So if you don't know the properties, you can anytime press control space, you will get the ideas. But the very important property that we need to use it, decoration. Inside this input decoration we can use that property. Yeah, so here we can use, now you see the hint text. Hint text is a text which is an instruction for the user. For example, enter. If you don't know that what type of value I should enter to the hint text, so you see you can easily know, you can easily know like this, that you see this hint text, you see here is written string. So meaning to say, here you will not provide a text widget, you will provide a string value. So from here you can easily you can easily understand the hint text accept a string value. Enter first value. Okay, now another one. Let's hard reload, that we will see the output of this. You see, enter a value, and when I click in it, okay, when I click in it, then I can see here. Um, I can we can type here, but you see, it is too much to the top, and there is no margin on the side. We should use some margins. So to use the margins or padding, we can click this column widget, and then using this yellow bulb, you see we can ask this guy to wrap this one with a padding. Okay, so this one, now you see it, the padding property is added to the padding widget, and if I reload it now, then you see it will be like this. Okay, now you see, I want that there should be a proper border around this widget, that it should see the that it is really look like a text field. So this one, the property is border, and if you see again, you see border. So here you will see input border. You see this is the class that we will have to call outline input border. If I hard reload, you see the option is so nice now. Similarly, we need another input field. So one way to do the whole process again, and another way to just copy and paste. The best thing in Flutter is that you can reuse the code very easily. Just copy and paste and another text field. Okay, so this text field is everything the same. Here we just change the second value. Enter this, and if I hard reload, it will be like this. You see, so first value and second value. Now after this, we need now another point. You see the two text fields are quite close to each other, so actually we need a little bit space between this, and we always can create a space between widgets using size box. Has different properties, but we will only use a height property, and the height should be, let's suppose, 20. So now if I hard reload, the two text field will be separated from each other. You see, they're separated from each other like this. Now, after this, I need four options: the minus, the multiplication, and the division. And you see, this plus, minus, multiplication, and division, this collectively is another child of the column, but this is again one complete row actually. So you see, this is one thing, one widget, this is another widget, this is another widget, and this is another widget. So these four widgets are arranged from left to right. And if you need anything to arrange from left to right, then you need a row widget. So we will use a row inside the column after this. So after this, we will use a row. Okay. So row widget. Okay, and inside this row, similarly like a column widget, a row also has children. And in the children, we will use the material button. Okay, and this material button has unpressed property. At this moment, we will just use a blank function. Okay, and here it has another property, child. Okay, and the child will be a text property, and here we can provide the plus. This one, let's see, background, it has color. Yeah, it has a color property. So the color of the button should be blue. Colors dot blue, and the text is like this. So so whenever the child property should always be. Now if I hard reload, so we will see one, yeah, we see one button with a plus text above it, but the plus by itself should be white, I think. So here we can use a style, style, text style, and the color again should be colors that white. Now if I hard reload again, yes, it is like this. If you want to make it bold, you can make it bold also. But I think at this moment, the bold option I will leave for you. You can just use font weight. Okay, font weight, and then font weight dot bold. Now, in the same way, I need four buttons. One plus, plus is already this one, then minus. So we can, you can type again if you want. Okay, like this, material button. Okay, and the same unpress will be empty. This one we will update later. If someone click the plus button, what should be happen? So it will have empty body at this moment, but later on we can do, we will update it. So color, and colors dot blue, and a child will be the text. Okay, and the text will be minus in this case, and we will use, I think I should quickly copy the style. This is the beauty of widget based programming. You can just simply copy this like this, comma, and just paste it. Yeah, everything should be okay. Yeah, so yeah, we got minus, and in the same way, this time I should copy the full button and paste 2 times, and then let's change just the text. So the minus should be changed to multiplication, and here this one should be changed to division. Okay, now if I hard reload, we will have 4 buttons like this. But now you see, again, I think it needs a bit improvement. First of all, the buttons are so close to the text field. One option, another option, the button by itself are attached to each other, so they should have a space between the buttons. So to do that one, let's, in the row, the whole row should get a little bit space from the text field, and that one, we are using size box, capital S, size box, and we will use the height property of that. And let's suppose it should be 20, and don't forget the comma. Uh, Yeah, so if I hard reload, they will be pushed down a bit. Now the second option is the space between plus, minus, and multiplication button by itself. That one is the row widget property. So inside the row widget, there is a property max axis alignment. Okay, so max axis alignment that what type of what type how the the buttons are separated from each other. So you see there are many from center, from head, from space around, space evenly, and space between. The space between is the best option. You can try each of them and then you will see how it works. Hard reload again. Yeah, so you see the buttons are nicely separated from each other. If you want to use the, now we need another button below this button, which will be the calculate button. So you see we need after the row. So you can click after the row here. You see this is the row. After this row, we need again one size box of height 20. Okay, and this one we need another button. I think I should use the same material button, this one. Okay, copy material button, but this time instead of the division, it should be calculate. Okay, let's try hard reload how it works. Yeah, is quite nice. Yeah, now you see this is a simple UI, but the if you see the whole app we actually build inside this material app. If you see, actually we build the whole app inside this material app, and there is no classes there. Okay, so to build a classes, let me show you the concept of classes. Now we are switching from the simple programming to the classes, stateless and stateful widgets. Okay, the templates I have shared with you through GitHub also you can get from there, but first you try to learn first. For example, so if I am creating a stateless class, so then I will start from a word class. You can give any name that you want to your class, for example, but mostly the class name starts from uppercase letter, like my stateless widget. This is just example. Okay, and this class extends from stateless. Here when I do like this, if you hover over on this, you see it gives us an error message, and if you bring your cursor over this, it will tell you that what is the error. It says that this class must have a build function or build method which you don't have. So any class inherited from this class must uh, implement the build method. Okay, so here we will provide the build method. So you see when I type the build method, I get the option. If I just click tab, you see I will get everything. But let me show you the manual way first, that you understand. Okay, so I will type manually build. Okay, this need a context, build context. Context means the context of the app where actually this class or where this interaction happens. So context, and here is the body of the uh, build method. Now you see the build method again gives us an error, and if you bring your cursor here, you see it will tell us what is the problem. This says that this build method must return a widget, but in your case it is null, meaning to say it is not returning anything. Okay, so let's return, okay, let's return a widget, or a widget tree. So you can return anything that you want. So for example, you see, if I want to return my whole app, So I can do that one actually. So if I copy this whole material F from here, okay, and just paste here after the return the whole thing, you know. So now is okay. The only one thing that here I should not use a semicolon anymore. It should be a comma. Now is okay. But again there is, I actually copy one extra parenthesis. So this one should be like this. Now is okay. Again there is one issue. You see, it says that this build method is actually override function, meaning to say that this build method is actually defined in the parent class, the stateless widget. So if you are using the same method which is defined in the parent class, then you must use the keyword here, override. Override means that you are not defining a new method, but you are using the existing method of the parent class. So we will provide the override uh, property here. So once you do that, you see the message gone, the error message gone. Now here it again give us one warning. So you see this one is saying what? When you bring a cursor here, it says that you should add a key to the constructor. So what is a key to the constructor? We will study this one later, but at this moment you just click this bulb and click say add a constructor key. All the errors gone. Now you see, if I can just copy and paste, I'm just calling the class. You see, oh, this one and the extra parenthesis. This parenthesis for this. When I bring it here, then you will understand. You see. Yeah. So you see, I called my whole class from there, and that class is now a stateless widget, and it is extended, means inherited from a stateless widget. So now if I hard reload, the exactly the same output. But now instead of simple coding is more manageable, and you can you see you can divide the code into different classes. So this is the concept of stateless widget. Let me show you the concept of stateful widget. Okay, so for example here, if we want to create a stateful widget, the general template, the general concept of stateful widget is like this. So let's suppose a class, we will start from a class, my first stateful stateful widget. Let's define a stateful class. So class my first stateful widget, and this extends from stateful widget. Okay, create a state, this one, and this will return the whole class, return the class, and the class will be, let's suppose, my stateful class. This will be the class name, and we will define, you see we got an error, we haven't defined that yet. Class, the same name you should use, and this one must extend from state class, this one. So we will have a build function here again, but this build function will every time build when there is any change. So context, build context, and here, yeah, so this one will return. So here let's suppose we just return a simple thing, a text, just to show new state, let's suppose. Okay, like this. So here again, context, this spelling is wrong. Yeah. So this one is again, if you bring here, so it says that you must use the override property. Yeah, like this. So now this gone. Now you see here, if here we have a error message. So if you click on this one, it says that add the key to the constructor. So you see the main difference between stateless and stateful widget is this one, that the stateful widget will must have a method create state. You see this one, create state, and this create state will return a whole class that you will define, and this one is the class that we define here. Okay, this will be actually the class where which will change every time when the user interact with. Okay, so in a stateless widget, we have only one build method. Okay, and that build method return a widget. But here, okay, but in a stateful widget, we have create state function, and that function return a class, and that is the whole new class which will deal with the new states. So this is the way that generally we can define stateful widget and stateless widget. But luckily, Flutter provide a very easy way to create this one. This one I was just showing you the manual way, but Flutter can easily provide a shortcut. For example, if you want to create a stateless widget, you just type STL. Okay, ST. You see stateless. Okay, if you just type this one and press tab, you will get the whole skeleton of stateless widget. But now you see the cursor is blinking for us to give a name to your stateless widget. For example, if I type here, you will realize, that the typing is goes in several places wherever the class name is used. So like my first stateless like this. So you see, you just type, now your whole stateless widget is ready, and this one, the return const, here you can just return the whole. You see, if I copy this thing here again, sorry, this one, so I can actually return the whole thing from that build method. Similarly, if you want to define a stateful class, you just type stf. Okay, stf, you will get this code snippet, and you just press tab. Now you see the, like for example, stateful widget. Okay, so you see the whole thing is provided automatically. You see, there is one difference. The one difference, when you are using the template, you see the create state function is using a fat arrow syntax. Fat arrow is actually 100% similar like this one. If you use, let's suppose, like this curly bracket. So you see here, you just copy this, put here, but instead of the fat arrow, you just type return. Okay, so it's the same thing, you see. So this is a bit lengthy syntax. Actually, the fat arrow is a shortcut syntax if you want to return one single thing from a function, then use the fat arrow. So you see the fat arrow is equal to the two curly braces and the word return. So if I type, you see like this, then this is equal to the lengthy syntax. So this is the way how to define stateless and stateful widget. And now you see, let me delete all this code because this is just extra. I was showing you how to define. Now another easy method that Flutter is providing to us, that whenever you have a stateless widget, actually you can just click this stateless widget to stateful widget just by one click. For example, you click this stateless widget here, then you will see this yellow bulb uh, click this one, okay, and you see it ask you convert this class to stateful widget. You see it will automatically add everything that you need. You don't need to type a single code. So if and why, here this app is interactive. It changes on the basis of user interaction. So we actually need to change this class to stateful widget, otherwise the buttons will not work. Okay, so let's change this class to stateful widget. Just when you click this one, you see everything change, everything is added, and no need to type anything. So if I just stop this one and restart the app output is exactly the same that what we were having before. So in this way, from now onward, we will use stateless and stateful widget, the object oriented style. So please play with the code too much. So stateless widget is very simple, but stateful widget has two components. One, the create method, which returns another class, and that class is this class that you will define. Now, the next step is to provide functionality to this app, meaning to say it should be fully functional app, that someone type some values here, okay, and then click plus button and click calculate button, the result should be displayed to us. So we will do the next step, this one.